talking capital.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is still capital.
And the question is, how much?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get
I
to
was
that.
hoping you'd get to it like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now.
I'm trying to get
Sorry,
through
I'm
this.
sorry.
We agree
So-
we need it.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
What's our?
okay, so the proposed project is what you see here in these renderings to my right here. So replacing the concrete steps and then also replacing the chairs, or the benches with what we have throughout the island.
And the lights.
And the light fixtures, of course, removing the old lights and putting what we have throughout the island, as well as replacing the meditation steps. We're not changing the design or the layout of the meditation steps. They will be replaced in kind, but we're gonna install natural wood, not composite wood. We looked at that in terms of cost and in terms of warranty and useful life. We found a tropical wood which is accepted in various other locations in New York City.
What kind of wood? It's all
I have,
pressure
no, it's a natural. It's up there behind you, Mr. Shinazaki. It comes from Brazil. It's an inspected farm-raised wood. Okay, it's called Camaru, and this is what it comes from Brazil, and this is what we want to use for the decking materials.
So, sounds like a silly question, so we don't get protesters. This isn't like rainforest.
No, it's all.
And
Farm
it's
alone.
used throughout New York City.
Okay, so
Just check.
in my presentation,
Can't
in my presentation, it speaks to this, but Camaru is naturally resistant to insect damage, rot, and requires no preventative treatments. So that's the natural color. It's not stained. What we may want to do every few years is oil it to keep it to that richness. Otherwise, if we don't do it over time because of the light, it fades.
Really hot.
No.
Yeah,
my,
it'll get warm because it's dark in the summer, but people bring,
Oh, okay.
The life expectancy of that wood is 25 years as opposed to 10-year warranty with a composite material. It's a very dense, heavy wood, which is what our engineers are recommending. So it's
wood.
yes.
Is Kumano the same as Ipe?
No. I think Ipe is a composite.
You know you just can't, no. You just can't be a piece of Ipe.
That's from.
Oh,
No?
no, that's it. That's it.
What's that?
it's heavy wood.
It's
yeah.
just different.
Oh, okay.
It's different. That's a different method for installing it. That's a different color and so on. But this is the one that we're recommending. Now, to answer your question, it's raised in the forest. It's controlled, and it's inspected and certified by the Brazilian equivalent of the USDA. Now, the United States has a council that oversees it, but then the availability of the same wood coming from the same place would add probably a 60-day, 90-day lead time to get the same materials. So the Brazilian council that is equivalent to the USDA is approving this, they're certifying it and so on, and they guarantee it.
Fair trade kind of.
Exactly. So just in terms of price comparisons, so just actually, where this material is used at Pier 17, Esplanade, Coney Island Boardwalk, and South Street Seaport Boardwalk are some of the places that it's used right now in New York City. The cost of it, if we were to go through and get it from the where is it? The USDA, it would be more expensive because it's just another layer of oversight and so on. But if we were to get it through them, it would be approximately $10.68 per square foot, as opposed to getting it from the Brazilian government, which is going to be the same source of material. It would be $7.46 per square foot. Right. As a comparison, a composite material is $8.46 per square foot for a composite that's 10-year warranty versus a 25-year warranty with this material.
How much
And-
are we talking for the whole project for
Yeah, you can
me?
get-
Just bottom line.
I want-
Determine
okay, that's fine.
Jeez.
We just want the money.
Let the
Let's
drum
start with
roll.
the Butler did it,
Because we
then
need
we'll
it.
go back
We need
to
it.
whatever
Right.
else.
The engineers are estimating about $350,000 to do it.
Okay, 350,000.
Why don't we
And it takes
harvest our
about-
own existing trees?
Enough from Brazil.
But that also includes putting lighting on the steps, so which is not currently like here. We're gonna have lights on the steps. We're gonna replace the bollards with lights, so it's more than just the I'm sorry, Steve. The decking and the wood. It's actually enhancing the area with better lighting.
How much of it is just the wood? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I don't have that number, but
$7, I mean, with labor, we're gonna put it out.
yeah, we haven't gotten to that point yet. I wanted to present it to the committee.
Okay.
Right.
Once I want to issue an RFP next, but I wanted to present to the committee, this is where we are with this. We've done a design, we have materials that have been selected, that's been used in other places in New York City. I would like the committee to say, yes, you can go forward in issuing an RFP, and then I'll have more of those details and a breakdown of what each thing, materials will cost, labor will cost,
Since
and
you said
so on.
that Pier 17, the other places are constructed with this material, is there any existing city bulk contract we can acquire it through? Of some vehicle?
New York City pays a little bit more because they use the FSC, which is the USDA equivalent.
Forest Industries something
Council, yeah.
is,
Right.
quasi-governmental.
Right.
I have, another area I have some expertise,
Right.
only because, as you know, I'm a member of the unofficial Martin Guitar Forum. I go over to Nazareth
Right.
once a year, and we talk wood a lot. I'm gonna tell you, board members, Google wood, and Google CERTS, C-E-R-T-S, and Google Forest Industry Research Council, whatever the hell it's called, and you get yourself satisfied that it is not rainforest, et cetera, because these are all agencies which come, it's like why we banned the import of Brazilian rosewood, which is the
Yeah,
best farm wood
I agree
available,
about that.
that's not allowed to be imported.
This is what it is.
And those are the words that you want to Google, and just to reassure ourselves that our approach and our methods are within the bounds of a pretty well established by this time group of organizations which are,
Okay.
which advise the government on this stuff.
Okay.
And in the meantime, yes, we can do an RFP.
Okay,
That's my recommendation.
okay, good, thank you.
Oh, wait a minute, I have something to say about these photos. Where's the minorities in these pictures? We do have some minorities on this island.
Okay.
You know, that's
I
interesting.
really resent, every time I look at something, there is never a minority in anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let do a better job at that. Okay?
Okay.
Faye has our support. Not that it's her issue, it's our
No,
issue.
it's very true. I mean, this island has so many different people. Let me see if I see any Pakistani people here.
Oh,
No, I don't even see any Asian
I
here.
think, I
Where'd you
think
get
I see a
these
couple of
people
Jewish
from?
people, so I'm not.
I can't,
Because
I
we
didn't
have
know there
all
were
these
people till you
We
said.
have so many people here on this
It's
island.
fair comment,
Okay.
but I'm not
Okay.
gonna go on. And I support Faye, and I'm sure the committee does too.
All right, so thank you. I'll move forward with issuing an RFP and once we get the
We'll read the
results of the
details of it,
RFP,
yeah.
that would be something that I'll bring to the committee.
Very quickly,
Through those steps.
we
Okay.
discussed the status of the water ferry study, and we're gonna have more
We'll have a
information on that in
presentation
the
on
future.
that next
Mentioned
meeting.
that earlier.
Right,
Discussion of New York roads, that was
that
done.
was done.
There are three more items on the agenda. One is tram and bus ridership. One is the discussion of planned Con Edison work on Roosevelt Island. And the other was the issue that Margie promised to bring forward, when we handle all the rest of this stuff.
Okay. If I may, could I address the Con Edison plans and so on first, and then we can talk about the other items?
Yeah, that's more the nature of your report.
The other thing too is,
to excuse myself.
okay.
Two of you, you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. The other thing is that, some of the members talked about if the meeting was lengthy, of having a separate meeting and possibly tabling some of these. I had sidebar conversations with certain committee members, so, we can proceed with addressing everything or tabling some of the items first.
When is the comment work gonna start?
Okay, so here's the issue with Con Edison. I was invited to a meeting a few weeks ago at Con Edison's offices at 4 Irving Place. as it relates to the Cornell project. And at that meeting, he talked about the gas needs for the campus, but also for Kohler Hospital. As you know, Goldwater is slated to close at the end of 2013. So HHC, Con Edison, the city are talking about possible plans, different scenarios. Nothing's set in stone at this point, but the discussions are being held right now. We're invited to be participating in those discussions, and I have a follow-up meeting with them. But essentially, the initial concept right now is to provide increased gas service to Roosevelt Island, to provide to Kohler Hospital for the short term. For the long term, and by the long term I mean maybe by 2015, 2016, is to provide high-pressure gas service to Roosevelt Island. That would not only service the Cornell campus, but potentially the rest of the island as well.
And what would that do for us? Lower the costs? Lower our energy costs or what?
Well, that has yet to be determined. Con Edison has to do its financial calculations based on demand. They don't have that information just yet. They're requesting that information from the various parties that would possibly tap into this, increased gas service. So I don't know what the financial benefits will be in terms of lowering utility costs. I can't speak to that. I don't know.
They're gonna have to open up the streets to install all the piping and control mechanisms for that. That's gonna be an issue for the island.
Possibly, we don't know for sure, but
If they're reading right now with low pressure pipe, the standard pipe, low pressure pipe, and they're gonna put in a high pressure pipe for high volume, high pressure gas work, that means you need new piping, new regulators, and you have to open up the conduits to do that.
That's one of the things that are that's being discussed, but we don't have exact plans in terms
The
of
other
what's
question
going
is
to
if they've
happen.
done a capacity study and they figured out what's our current gas flow capacity on island. If they're deciding they wanna go to a high pressure system, the question is why? Does that mean that there are some unofficial discussions that the new facility is gonna be putting in some kind of electrolytic converter or turbine system to generate power and boilers for the new campus that we haven't heard about? What is the reason for needing that much that additional capacity for an island of fixed size?
Right.
I think
At the
Pam
very
was saying
least,
that's what you go into the meeting for.
exactly.
Find all that out.
It's very preliminary, and what I want to be able to present this evening is what I know so far,
Okay.
which is not much because the plans and the discussions are evolving.
I'm giving you
I'm not
questions
sure.
to ask.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate that. Those are questions that the Director of Engineering has raised as well. You know, what does it mean for Roosevelt Island? What are the potential benefits? What are the implications as well in terms of positive or negative? And then what are the costs involved? You know, who's going to pick up the cost for infrastructure work? Who's going to benefit from having gas service as opposed to another form of utility here on the island? And how do you use that gas? We see the benefit to the Octagon with the fuel cell, which is the source of that fuel cell is gas, and that provides a positive benefit. I think, if I remember correctly, it's a considerable cost savings for the Octagon. I think about $30,000
Well,
a
that and the solar
month.
cells, during the day, they're net exporters.
I'm sorry?
That and their solar cells, during the day, they're net
Right.
exported electricity.
Right. So all this to say is that it's very preliminary. I'm sharing with the committee what I know so far. Discussions are going to continue. There are implications across the board here. And as soon as I find out, I'll be able to present it to the committee and to the board with further detail. What we're doing right now, we're looking at what our potential demands are. Our current load levels for our facilities. So our facilities are not going to change. We're not expanding. We're in terms of physically, we have our load letters, and that's what we have to hire. We've hired an engineering firm to do those assessments, so we can present that to Con Edison and say, this is what we need, and they do their calculations in terms of service and the cost and so on.
They should know that already. They're even providing gas air.
Not as, not, like for instance, there's a gas service, for Kohler, yes. But now they need to increase that gas service, because remember, coal is also supplemented by the steam plant.
Okay, but at the moment, that's the question, is what is, they should know, based on already, what the gas flow rate consumption is for the island, because all the islands, they have gas stoves and things like that. And then what consumption rate is at Octagon, and the consumption rate at Kohler.
I
If
would
they're,
suggest that if a new power source becomes, or energy source becomes available, that, and the cost differential is enough, that conversions will happen. That's pretty regular. I mean, you get a new energy source, and it's as simple as putting a coal-fired insert to your wood-burning fireplace, as they did in the late 1800s.
yeah,
There's always a tend to convert as a new energy source becomes available.
Right.
So that's what an engineer has to tell us.
Right.
From our standpoint though, is, okay, if they wanna dig up all the roads, or depending on where the pipes are, then, and put in new piping and new regulators, and pull something from, where then it's coming across from Queens or where the pipes, how the pipes enter the island. Okay, what is that gonna cost, what is it gonna cost the corporation in terms of road work, support of their opening everything up? Are they doing it to the steam, can they do it to the existing steam tunnels?
We don't know that.
Yeah.
That's,
These are the
those
costs we gotta
Those are the
figure out.
planning discussions that we need to have,
Okay.
and obviously figure out what the implications are, operationally and financially.
And is it gonna cause any, when they do the, when